Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another video. It's 9:47 a.m. on April 10th, 2026. And this is the James Atkinson YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome. Anyway, it's the morning and I'm just having a cup of coffee, as you can see. And that's a better shot. Cup of coffee. And I've just turned the bath on because I could do with a wash. I've just finished my breakfast, which I had some rice and lentils and tuna for breakfast. And now I'm gonna have a wash, change my clothes, get nice and fresh so that I'm ready to get outside. I think the bath looks like it's full enough. I need to make sure that I never drop the camera in the bath or in the toilet. That would be a disaster. I have dropped this camera a couple of times, but it still survives. Phew. Anyway, I'm not going to take a bath straight away because I've run it with just hot water. So, I'm going to let it cool down for a bit. Maybe like 10-15 minutes until it's reached the point of being inhabitable. Inhabitable. So, I've woke up in a great mood this morning. Even though I'm tired, even though I feel terrible physically, I'm still very optimistic. And I feel great in myself. So that's good. I'm really looking forward to today. It's 9:50 a.m. So I have an entire day ahead of me, ready to be enjoyed. Endured, everything in between. Today is a Friday. That means basically nothing to me. There's no significance to the days in my world. Not right now, anyway. That might change very soon because I have been applying for some jobs. But whether anyone will actually offer me a job or not, I have no idea. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. It would be good to know that every day I have the same purpose, which is to get up, get ready, go out, go to work, and then work all day long, come back home, and make a load of money. Because I would unashamedly like to make a lot of money. I have no issue admitting that. Of course I want to make a lot of money. Of course I do. Not just selfishly for myself to have power over others. Not like that at all. The more money that I make, the more that I can share with others. The more that I can do for others. That's what money's good for. It gives you a platform to connect with people. Because everybody wants resources and needs resources. And I've never really been a selfish person. I've always shared what I have with who I care about. That's part of why I share my life here with the people on YouTube. Okay, it's bath time. I'm long overdue having a wash. This is much needed.
Oh my god, I'm so wet.
Good bath. Nice and clean now. Ready to go. Nice clean queen. That's what I am. That's right. I'm a queen. I'm a queen. I'm a widow. So, what I need before I leave the house is my jacket, John Paul jacketee with this jacket on, a jacket, a pair of shoes, and I think that's about it. And then just the basic, the classic keys, wallet, phone, and I'm ready to go. Now, what I'm doing outside is just walking. That's it. Quite low on money at the moment. Not sure exactly what I got, but it's not a lot. Maybe like £2. It's only about 3 days until payday. So, that's not too bad. I can deal with that. You know what? I just had a look at my account. I do actually have enough right now to go get a drink. Got £2.87. So I'm gonna go grab a drink from this shop. And then, I imagine, extend the walk a bit further. We'll see where we end up. I'm not sure right now. It's quite a quiet day at the moment. I would say rather peaceful. So that's good. So far so good. Very pleasant. Oh my god, talk about terrible customer service. Such incredibly slow people in the shop. Wasting other people's time. Can you believe it? It's always the same people. Those who get no exercise, those who are very out of shape. They need to go and start moving, work. Anyway, I grabbed one of these Vimto Energy Zero Tropical Cooler. I'm not going to drink it straight away. Just going to pocket it for now. Carry on with my walk. Don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. Better to be out than to be in. At least right now, that is the philosophy. That is the mantra that I'm sticking with. And I'm not going to let any of these stupid people convince me that anything else other than that is a good idea. They're not very clever. They've got something literally wrong with their brains. They've got an issue with their brains. Very stupid, very arrogant, just so out of shape. You can't say anything to or about anybody else's ability or character or anything if you're so incredibly out of shape. You don't even look after yourself. How can you possibly comment on somebody else? You need to get down to the gym. You need to go exercise. You need to work. You've got no work ethic whatsoever. And you're there criticizing other people. You do not have the God-given right for other people to respect your opinions. And they shouldn't respect your opinions unless you've actually earned the ability to be respected. And the way you earn the ability to be respected is through what you do in your life. The work that you do that actually helps and benefits other people. If you're selfish, if you're lazy, people aren't going to respect what you have to say. They're not going to listen to what you have to say. They're going to discount everything you say because they just say, why the hell would I listen to you? You don't care about me, you don't care about anyone apart from yourself. You're so selfish, you're so arrogant. No one's going to listen to your opinion. No one gives a fuck. So you're better off just shutting up and getting on with it. Go do what everybody else is doing. Try and fit in for a change with the working world, and then people might have respect for you. Otherwise, they've got no respect for you. They just think you're a prick. So I'm heading down to the canal right now, and then I'm gonna take, I don't know if it's a left or a right, but I'm gonna take a nice long walk, see how far we can go within about the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. So that's a good, positive, active start to the day to get out and go. Not into wasting time anymore. thinking, that's a waste of time. I mean, it is and it isn't. It has its utility, it has its purpose, but action will always trump any kind of thought. Because action is in many ways the remover of thought. The more busy you are, the more active you are, the more exercise you're doing, the less you are thinking. You tend to stop thinking as you are exercising. That's why exercise, physical exercise, is so good for your mental health, because it actually manages to get rid of all your thoughts that you have going on, all of your obsessive and compulsive thoughts. Exercise is a way to distract yourself from those thoughts and actually relieve yourself and rid yourself from those thoughts. So I'll always say, for anybody, if you're struggling with your mental health, then focus on your physical health, particularly on physical exercise. Get up, get out, and go. That's the best thing you can do. If you want to save your arse from all of the troubles that you have, get up, get out, and go. It's a great idea. And then the other thing that's helped me more than anything is just to talk more. Always be willing to go further into conversations and open up, be honest, share your feelings, share your thoughts, say what you really think, say how you really feel, and then you can find some kind of emotional healing. But you're not going to find that unless you're willing to make the effort and to change fundamentally as a person what you think. If you're just thinking the way that you always have been, on repeat, stuck on repeat, boring, 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 then who are you? You're just the same person you've always been, an idiot. So you need to progress. That means you have to change how you think. Change how you think, change how you feel. And like I said, I really do think the best way to change how you think is get up, go out, get up, get out and go. Start moving, start walking, start working, start focusing on the physical, and then place the mental, place the emotional as secondary to the physical. They're not secondary. They have a sort of a dancing hierarchy which evolves, which changes. Sometimes the mental takes priority over the emotional, over the physical. Sometimes the physical takes priority over the mental, over the emotional. Sometimes the emotional takes priority over the mental, over the physical. But if you become acutely aware that you are spending much more time than you would like thinking, you have to get up and get out and go. That is the only solution. That is the only solution I know of. If you're not physically capable, if you're not physically able, then you've got to find some kind of system to set up to put you in a position where you can still get moving. Because whatever you have left that's working in terms of your body, if you can move it, you should use it. And you know what they say, if you don't use it, get ready to lose it. From day one, from birth, from the very beginning, you should be spending as much time as you can focusing on physical exercise. Physical exercise is the most important thing you can focus on. There's obviously many reasons as to why, but it is the one thing that will never go away. It is the one thing that will never change. If you're not feeling good, get up, get out and go. And I guarantee you'll feel better. Taking a nice leisurely stroll down by the canal at the moment. Pleasant vibes. It's not too bad. I've not touched that Vimto energy drink yet, but I'll save that for after I've tired myself out a bit. Drank quite a lot of water when I woke up. Had a bowl of rice and lentils and tuna. So I've got some energy in my system and I feel alright. I feel good to go for the moment. The thing is with a can, once you've opened it, that's it, it's open. It's quite hard with a can to like take a sip and then save it for later, like you can with a bottle of Coke or whatever. But that's okay, so I'll save it for in a bit when I feel like drinking the whole thing in one go, and then I'll just get it down, neck it, as they say. I don't really know how far I can go on the canal. I've done a little distance, but I'm gonna hop off now, get back onto the streets. I've got a video at home that's ready to go. I've taken all the files off the camera and just left them sitting in a folder, but I've still got to put them into editing software, go through it, piece that together, upload that. That'll probably take a couple of hours to do that one, maybe longer, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna head back now to the house and start cracking on with the edit from the video from yesterday. So that's probably about another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I'm actually going to sit and I want to watch, if I can, all of it, the full thing. There's quite a while, quite often recently I've been skipping over things, skipping forward. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be much more thorough. Stay focused, watch the whole video, get through it, and then when I say, okay, that's good, I'm happy with that, I'm proud with that, that'll do, get it uploaded, and then on to the next one. That's today. So after I've finished doing this, I'm certain that I'll be coming back out again for another round or 2 or 5 or 10. But I'm going to keep the circles at the moment a little bit shorter and just keep going back to stop off periodically if I got work to do. So I got to head back, finish off this bit of work that I've got, and then get to come out again for another round, talking to you, YouTube. Camera in the camera, keeping me company. My best mate, Cameron. It's a bit slow, it's a bit boring, it's a bit repetitive, And a lot of that is due to the really bad vibes that are created by a lot of the incredibly stupid people that live in the area. They're very stupid. They create really bad atmosphere. It's very unpleasant. And there seems to be so many of them around. It's just constantly idiot after idiot after idiot after idiot, moron after moron. So many stupid people. They create such a terrible atmosphere. I really think they should actually just get up and move somewhere else. Go live somewhere else where people appreciate people who are boring and stupid. They're not appreciated here. People here like people that are interesting, different, that stand out, that are unique. That's the kind of people that people like around here. They don't like idiots, stupid, moronic idiots. They create such a bad atmosphere. Everywhere you go, you walk around and there's a vibe, there's an energy. It's very unpleasant. It's like they have some sort of issue with their brain, like some kind of health issue that means they put out incredibly bad vibes. It's very unpleasant. I'm not sure they're actually aware of it, but it's because they're so stupid. They can't actually realise what it is they're doing. They're too stupid to realise how stupid they are. They're too stupid to realise what a bad vibe they're putting out. They're too stupid to realise how unpleasant of an atmosphere that they create on a daily basis. And so you walk these streets just thinking, how am I supposed to put up with these fucking idiots? These morons. They seem to be everywhere. They're so incredibly uninteresting in every single way. When will they ever start to develop a personality of some kind? When will they ever start to find their own voice? They're not interesting. They're idiots. They're so stupid, moronic, idiotic. So I am personally working on changing that and trying to stop the idiots from winning, because there's so many fucking idiots seemingly everywhere. They're so uninteresting, so boring, that it makes for an incredibly unpleasant atmosphere. And the atmosphere itself has to change. The atmosphere will only change if the people change. Their behaviours, their habits, their patterns of thinking and acting. It all has to change. Everything. But they won't do that because they're so stupid. They have no understanding or realisation that it's better for them to actually change what they're saying, change what they're thinking, change how they're acting. They have no idea that that is in any way going to benefit them, because they haven't seen how good it can be. And that's why I'm always saying, you need to go travel, go somewhere else, move house, travel, go see the rest of the world that is around you, go see just how good it can be, go see just how great life is in so many other places, and stop wasting your time on these stupid little dramas that you get involved with, talking to fucking idiots like an idiot. What a waste of time. What a waste of life. There's a lot of people now that I'm seeing that have absolutely no motivation whatsoever to do anything good, either for themselves or for anyone else. Now, a lot of them don't even take into consideration what anybody else thinks, what anybody else wants, and they only think of themselves. It's me, 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 all day, every day, for a lot of people. Now, if that's you, you really have to think about, how does you having that attitude actually affect other people? And is it actually conducive towards a nice or pleasant environment for other people who live in the same area? If the answer is no, what are you doing? Change that. First thing to change it straight away. But I do have to say, really, there's no way around what it is that I'm explaining right now. Like, all you have in front of you is this. There's no other option. You've got to do something that you like. You have to do something that you find interesting. Otherwise, why are you alive? What's the point? You've got to focus on something you actually enjoy to do. And then you might actually find your life interesting. You might find yourself interesting. If you feel like you've got no enthusiasm for life at all, and you just don't care, it's like, okay, well, what are you doing all day? Think about that. Figure it out. Think about what you're doing. Start trying to make some changes, improvements. Work on it, change it. Heading back to the house now. Like I said, got to put together the video from yesterday. Might not sound that fun to be sitting behind the computer, but it's okay for a bit. It's something I have to do. It's necessary. If I want to get these videos out, I've got to do the editing. I've got to do the uploading. It takes a bit of time, but it's definitely not time wasted. It's time spent working towards progress for my passion, my interest, the thing that I actually care about doing. So I'm looking forward to it. Mostly. Not looking forward to it a little bit, but mostly looking forward to it. Okay, it's editing time once again. Once a day, every day, I have to edit a YouTube video. So that means watching through everything I filmed during the day. Alright. So I've finished reviewing about 36 minutes of the footage from that video. There's still 1 hour and 15 minutes left to review, but I'm going to break the editing up into smaller pieces, and I'm going to head out, back outside again. It's going to take another half an hour to an hour to walk, work, and then head back and then finish off the work that I've got to do in the house. It's not exactly difficult to sit there and just watch some video, but I didn't leave the house because it was difficult. I just left the house because I've had enough of sitting there watching, and I want to get outside for a bit longer. It's much easier to edit a video if you break it up into pieces. Then it doesn't seem like such a arduous task. I can watch 30 minutes straight with no issue. In fact, I find it very interesting. I like watching my own videos. But if I do that another 2 to 3 times, then I've finished off the whole thing. But I've made it a lot easier for myself by breaking it up into smaller pieces. So it doesn't seem like such a big deal, you know? I think that's a great idea, personally. I didn't have that idea in the beginning. I was just doing the whole thing, taking the whole day to do all of it. But the way that I'm doing it now, I think, is much better and probably going to work out for the best. Slightly less stress, and I'm not feeling like I have such a huge burden of responsibility to take care of that work. But I'll still get it done. I'm just breaking it up into smaller pieces, giving myself a few more breaks so that it's slightly easier. Now, usually when I leave the house, my go-to, absolute number one, most victorious habit will be to go out and spend money in some way on something. Probably getting a drink of some kind. Now, however, I've pretty much spent all the money that I've got. I've got something like £1 odd left in my account. Not a great deal. So I can't really be doing that. However, when I do feel like it, I could just simply head back to the house and get a drink there. Still got about half a can of Vimto Energy sitting on the side, and as much coffee as I could possibly stomach. I've got so much coffee, but I've not been drinking it for a while. I think I started to find that I had less of an ability to stomach hot drinks, and I stopped really liking hot drinks quite as much. And now I feel much more like having colder drinks. Maybe it's because I've already got enough heat in my body, so my body's naturally more attractive to cooling itself down. That could definitely be what it is. I'd hazard a guess to bet that that is what it is, which is fine. It's okay. But I did buy loads and loads of coffee that I've now got sitting on the side in the house, and you know, I'm gonna have to drink it at some point, or else basically give it away to someone else. I guess I could do that. I could give it away. Wouldn't be such a bad idea. Or I could make cold coffee. I'm not really sure how to do that. I guess the only real way to do that is make hot coffee and then just let it cool down. And then you've got a cold coffee. Because right now I don't have a fridge, I don't have a freezer, so I can't use ice or anything. So I don't know what to do. I'm in the process of selling my house. My house is currently up for sale. I've had 2 viewings so far, but no offers. No offers yet, and I'm just waiting for when I get an offer so that I can move, so that I can go live life again, which is what I'm looking forward to doing. I'm not really looking to get tied down in a job, but I wouldn't mind giving it a go if it was something that I'd really like to do. There's one job that I've applied for recently that I think, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. That sounds pretty good. The pay's not so bad. The pay's pretty good, and it's a night shift, or it might be a night shift, which I would like to do night shifts again. I've done night shifts before, and you get more pay for doing night shifts, so I'd happily do that, work through the night, and make more money as a result. I'd happily just do whatever I can to make as much money as I can. I don't know what else I can really do to make more money. Obviously, I'm always thinking about that kind of thing, and there's loads of different strategies to take, not necessarily just get a job and work. Obviously, that's the most obvious way to go, and I would take on a position if I was offered it by this one particular job that I've applied for recently, I would definitely do it if they asked me to do it, if they wanted me to do it. Pretty sure I'd say yes. But whilst I was there, I would still continue with the process of selling my house, and I would still be planning to move whenever I feel like it. I don't really know. If I got a job that I liked and I was doing that, you know, every day and making a good bit of bread, for as long as I was happy to keep doing that job, I'd keep doing it, and I probably wouldn't move. Meaning I would sell the house that I'm in, because I'm still currently trying to sell it, unless it doesn't sell, in which case I may stay. But if I get this job and then someone wants to buy the house, I will still continue with the sale of the house, and I'll just find somewhere else to live temporarily if I want to stay and continue doing the job and making the money. But maybe I'll just pack up and move and go straight to doing what I wanted to do, which was traveling and vlogging all the time, because if I had the money to do that, that's exactly what I would do. I've talked about this before in previous videos. If you go watch some of my previous videos, you can hear me talking about that. But yeah, that is basically the plan right now, is either sell the house, take the money from the house, go travel and do the vlog, make more YouTube videos, make better YouTube videos, make higher quality YouTube videos, spend more time focusing on making YouTube videos and traveling, or I started planning for basically, I was thinking, what if the house doesn't sell? Then, well, I don't know how long it's going to take for it to sell. I have no idea how long it's going to take. So, whilst I'm waiting for that to happen, I thought I should really continue working in the meantime. I want to continue working in the meantime. I can continue doing my vlog, obviously, but I'd like to work also doing something that's making me a wage. So I figured I should just keep applying for jobs in this local area, even though I'm planning to move out of this local area to move to a different area completely. I'm still looking for a job in this local area, and I'd be happy to do it. I'd like to do that. I like more than anything having a continual focus, a daily plan, and working is possibly the best thing to do, because it means making money, and that means being able to plan for a future, giving yourself a direction, and increasing the likelihood of the possibilities of what is available for you to do with your time when you're not working, or if you stop working. So basically, you've got to have money in the bank, or I do. And right now I'm going to take on whatever opportunity I can just to have more money in the bank, so that I can free myself up to be able to go wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go there. And that's the only reason that I'm actually looking to make more money at all, so that I can continue to do what it is that I'm doing right now, which is travel, move, vlog, make YouTube videos. That's all I want to do. Very straightforward. So I'm going to be continuing to do that in any way that I can. And I mean, the best thing about making YouTube videos is that once I've actually invested in the equipment, once you have a camera and a computer and editing software, then it's basically free to actually go ahead and make a video, to put it together, to put it up on YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything. So the barrier to entry is incredibly low. That means that anyone can make a YouTube video. That means that pretty much everyone can make a YouTube video if they so desire to do so. Now, the reason I wanted to start doing this is because I spent a lot of time talking to my camera. I spent a lot of time making videos about me, talking about whatever it is that I'm thinking about, talking about whatever it is that I wanted to talk about, or just taking little clips of this, that and the other. But I hadn't really started putting them together in a slightly more professional way until I had a bit of a revelation in a moment where I started to think, you know what, this is what I should really do. This is what I should really focus on. This is what I should spend a lot more time investing my energy into, is just saying, okay, every single day, no matter what, all I'm gonna do is whatever I'm doing anyway, whatever I'm already doing, I'm just gonna record that. And that means all I have to do is carry a camera everywhere I go, switch it on whenever I feel like it, take a little video here and there, and then before you know it, you have got yourself a YouTube video. That's it. It's a very straightforward, simple formula, very easily accessible for anybody to do, and it's what a lot more people are doing now. It's very common. So I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, despite what anyone else might say. I don't really care. I'm not really doing it for them, I'm doing it for me, and there's no reason that I shouldn't do it. So again, it's very boring and repetitive out here. Same old, walking, working. That's not going to stop me, but it just is what it is now. I do find really that if you can accept the difficult stuff, then you get more of the not so difficult stuff. But you really have to be willing to take on difficulty, to take on struggle, and then you'll actually become somebody who's capable, who actually has the ability to do something good. Otherwise you're just useless. You're just a saggy, wet mess of pointless person. Like, why do you exist? If you're not capable of doing anything, what's the point in your existence? You're a waste of space, you're a waste of time. You're one of life's losers. And you've made yourself that way by not actually doing enough for yourself. So you need to do much more. Get up, get out, go, exercise as often as you can. Stop making excuses. That all comes from arrogance. If you're arrogant, you believe that you don't have to do anything. Everybody else should do all the work. I shouldn't do anything. No, you're arrogant. You have to do the work. Lazy people just simply do not get what they want in life. So if you realise that you're making no effort, you shouldn't feel like you're entitled to anything. So you've got to stop complaining about when you're not getting what you want, and start realising you're not getting what you want because you're not making any effort whatsoever. You have to actually try. You will not be rewarded unless you actually work for what it is you want to get. That is the only way to get it. There is no other way to get it. You have to work. I'm going to start heading back to the house now. Go back to the video that I'm currently reviewing for upload. As I said before, it's just over an hour left of that. I'm going to sit and watch it all. It's been pretty good to watch. I'm currently up to the part where I'm reading from the book about Oasis, and it's a good read so far. I read for about an hour yesterday from that book, and I thought I'd probably get to the end of it, but turns out there's a lot more than I thought. So I'm going to keep reading that, possibly today. I don't know when. At some point, when I feel like it, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it later today. Maybe in about 2 or 3 hours. So once I finish that video, I'll have to do that. There's probably about another hour left on that before I finish that off. But then once that's finished, that's like job done. On to the next one. So that's great. I'll be very happy about that. Success. And then back to it. Start again. Do another one. It's not that nice out here today. It's a little bit unpleasant. Not very good. Again, it's just due to the people. They kind of make it what it is. Not very nice, not very pleasant. Stupid, lazy, arrogant people. They just create a bad vibe. They make it very unpleasant when you walk around, just to be anywhere near them. And that's what it's like a lot around here. Very unpleasant atmosphere. So I really am excited to get away from all the idiots, to get away from all the stupid people. There's so many of them here. They seem to be everywhere somehow. They're always talking a load of complete fucking rubbish. Just like randomly saying words in the air. It's very odd. I don't really understand what they're doing. A lot of just very freakish people. And I guess they think there's something sort of right or average about what they're doing. Quite mental. But just very stupid. Like, if you actually question them, like, what they're doing, they have no idea how to respond. They don't have the intellect to actually respond because they're too stupid. They can't formulate a reasonable thought or an intelligent thought. Just absolute morons, idiots. So they should really be saying a whole lot of nothing. But for some reason, they seem to have a lot to say. It's very odd. You'd think if you realised you weren't very clever, if you realised you were quite stupid, that you just wouldn't say anything because you wouldn't want to embarrass yourself. You wouldn't want everybody to see how stupid you are. But these people are so stupid and they keep talking. It's crazy. Absolutely mental. Like, you'd think they would be embarrassed to even open their mouth because the kind of things they come out with are so ridiculous, so infantile, so juvenile. Like, you are making yourself look like an absolute idiot. You look like an idiot. You look like a moron. But you're happy and willing to speak in front of everybody in public. And you don't even realise you look like an absolute idiot. It's crazy. How could you not be embarrassed about your behaviour? So yeah, no more wasting time on stupid people. No more wasting time on idiots. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm getting up, I'm getting out, and I'm going. I'm getting away from this place that I am right now, which is just an absolutely awful place to be. It's so incredibly stupid and idiotic. All because of the people that live here, who are stupid idiots. They're not very clever, they're not very intelligent, they're very stupid, they're very idiotic, and it shows. You take one look at them and you go, wow, you are an idiot. And it's true. If there were more people that actually displayed signs of intelligence, who actually seemed like people worth staying around for, who actually seemed likeable in any way, then I probably would stay. But they're not here. Only people here are very stupid. So that's it. I'm going away from all these people. I'm gonna go somewhere nice, somewhere good, somewhere decent, where I can actually make a bit of money. No one's got any money around here. No one's making any money around here. People are going nowhere. They've got no direction. There's no real life worth living. A lot of people just repeat themselves endlessly, doing the same thing over and over again, wasting their time. They've got no direction. They're not going anywhere. I'm not going to be one of those people. I've got somewhere to go. I'm actually trying to improve my life situation by working towards a goal that actually means something to me, and going to better and better places all the time, which is exactly what I'd like to do. Feel like and believe that I am constantly making progress in the world, and the only real way to do that is to apply yourself to some kind of work of some kind of meaningful service towards others that will reward you to the point that you now have the ability to go where you want to go. You now have the ability to do what you want to do. But really, if you're looking around you and you think, wow, these people are so stupid, these people are so idiotic, there is absolutely no chance that I want to be anything like them at all. They're horrible people, they have low moral standards. Why would I want to be like them? If that's what you're thinking, it's probably best to get away from all of that. Stop wasting your time, because those people will bring you down to their level and attempt to ruin your life as well. And the reason for that is they are stupid. They have no life of their own. They don't feel good about themselves. They feel quite pathetic, and they want you to feel just as pathetic as they do, so they can feel a little bit better about themselves. I don't want to do that. I like it when people succeed. I like to see people living their lives happily, successfully, doing something they want to do, having a passion, doing something they love, working on something that they really care about. That's what I love to see. But it's quite common to see a lot of these idiotic, moronic, stupid people who are very ghoulish because they don't want to see progress. In fact, it upsets them to see progress. It upsets them to see people living happily. It upsets them to see people successful, because it just reminds them of what a loser they are. That's not very good. You don't want to be around people like that. You want to be around friends who care about you, who want you to be happy, who want you to live a successful, happy, thriving, joyous life. Obviously, that's what everybody wants, deep down, to be happy, whether they admit it or not. A lot of people won't admit it because they have very low self-confidence, and they don't want to dare to be seen saying what they really think, because that's embarrassing. Well, okay, you're going to have to overcome that. If you want to achieve anything, you're going to have to overcome caring too much about what people think about you. That's the first thing you're going to have to get over. And then you've got to figure out what it is you actually want to do. Where do you want to go? What do you actually want to achieve? What is your goal? Come up with a goal. Find some clarity about what exactly it is that you want. And then start to question, how am I going to achieve this goal? What can I do? What are the actionable steps that I can take in order to try to achieve this goal? And you may not succeed, definitely not straight away. You probably come up against a lot of obstacles and hurdles, probably find it quite difficult, but you've got to try. There's no reason not to try. Even if you fail time and time and time and time again, you still have to keep trying. There's no option. Life goes on. You've got to keep living life, whether you want to or not. Because before you know it, it'll be another day. You will have woken up And you will have to say, here again, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today to turn this around, to make this better, to change this life that I have for the better? What am I going to do today to improve this situation? What am I going to do today to improve what I'm doing? You got to do something, and it better be positive, because otherwise, what is the point? If you're not working in the positive, if you're not working on the positive, or if you're not working towards the positive, then what are you doing? All the time and energy that you have, and all the attention that you can give, should all be given towards some kind of progressive, positive goal that you have in mind, and that you figured out the path to work towards the achievement of, or the fulfillment of, that goal. That's all you need. If you have that, you're set. That will be a recurring theme that is going to appear to you over and over again in your life. You are going to have to come up with an idea of what you're going to do, and then you're going to have to find a way to do it. And it does not matter what situation you are in at all. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter where you are. This same advice, this same information will always apply to every single situation that occurs in your life. You will have to start again, time and time and time again. And you'll have to figure out a way to make it work. You will have to figure out a way to go. You'll have to figure out a direction that you want to take. And then you will have to go towards that. And it will take a great deal of work. It will take a great deal of effort to make anything happen at all. If anything happens at all. And much of the time, you will make effort after effort after effort after effort after effort, and you will see absolutely no results whatsoever. You will get nothing in return for your efforts. That's no reason to stop making the effort. You have to keep making the effort whether you want to or not. There is no other choice. You do not get to choose whether you live or not. You are alive, you have to carry on living, so you have to make the effort, whether you want to or you don't. You have to do it. That's your duty, that's your responsibility. And you're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for you. So if you care about you, you've got to get up and go, get out and make the effort, do something. Come up with a plan, figure it out, choose a direction, and then go. It really is that simple. It may sound complicated, it's not. Two things. Think about what you want to do. Make a plan as how you're going to do it. Do it. That's it. Simple. Okay. Back to work again. I'm going to sit and watch probably another hour of this footage if possible. We'll see how far I get through it before going out again to do another round. Walking, talking, working, walking, talking. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Working, talking, working. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Working, talking, working. Walking, talking, walking. Walking, talking, walking. Working, working, working. Okay, great success. I've managed to finish off the video that I was doing. Great. Very happy to have finished it. Managed to do it all in one go as well. Just sat there, watched it all, and there was no issues. It was great. Amazing. I'm so glad. So, what I'm going to do now is head back out again for another walkabout. The reason that I'm going back out again for another walkabout is because, first of all, I would like to do that. Second of all, I can do that. Third of all, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. Fourth of all, that's it. Basically, I want to, and I can. So that's why I'm going to do it. It is rather straightforward, isn't it? It is rather simple. I am also going to try to capture some more vlog content, if possible. But I'm not really going to prioritise that. I'm actually just going to prioritise walking, and it's only if I think of anything to say that I would like to share that I really pull the camera out of my pocket and start recording. Otherwise, I'm just walking, I'm just enjoying the walk, the physical. But yeah, I've said it loads of times now, physical exercise is important to me. So that is what I like to focus on as a priority more than anything. And I really do like to get out of the house far more often than I do just stay in. I'm not doing that. No chance. I like it out there. I've got to spend more time out there as a rule because it's so much more beneficial for me to be out amongst the world, amongst the people, because that is exactly where all the opportunities are for things to get better for me. If I want to get better, if I want my life to improve, if I want my situations to improve, if I want there to be any kind of success or development for me personally at all in my life, I have to go outside and spend as much time as I can amongst other people, because there are no opportunities without other people. There have to be other people involved to create opportunities. I cannot simply create all the opportunities for myself. It's not possible. I would like to be able to, but it's not possible. There has to be a collaborative effort amongst many people for anything to happen. So without that, then not a lot can really happen. There is an amount of things that I could do by myself, for myself. Of course there is. But there has to be a limit on what I can do by myself, for myself, because there are many things that I do not know. And in order to learn something, you have to have somebody else teach you or show you or explain to you or enlighten you as to the method of how they do what it is they do. So we do rely on each other in the world in order to make things happen. I cannot be 100% completely self-centered and self-sufficient and therefore selfish in thinking that I can do everything I want to do for myself. I can do everything I need to do for myself. It's not true. So that is why I have to make more of an effort, to take far more time, to get up, to get out, and to go, to be part of the world that exists. Because, like I said, that is where all the opportunity is. Without going out, there's no opportunity. I have to go out to find opportunity of some kind, if there is an opportunity to be found, which of course there is. There are many, many, many opportunities to be found. But there's no finding those opportunities without getting up, getting out, and going. That is the only way to do it. There's no more computer time for me. I'm not doing it. I'm not interested anymore. It's not interesting. I have to go out and live life. That is life. That was life for the longest time. Was that. That was the only option you had. Get up, get out, go. The longest time, that was exactly how the world worked before the internet. Now, people think, oh, everything's on the internet. I don't need to get up. I don't need to get out. I don't need to go. Yes, you do. Of course you do. This internet thing is brand new. It's not developed. It's not as established as the ways of the world are. And the ways of the world are older than you could possibly believe and have been going on for much longer than you could possibly fathom. The ways of the world have been, for the longest time, that life is lived the way that it is. Not online, not indoors, outdoors, outside, working away. So, that is why I'm getting outside. That is why I'm going. Because that's where life is. In my opinion, that is where life is. There is life inside, but it's limited. There is much more life outside. And outside is unlimited. You can go and go and go and go and go and go for as long as you can. Keep going until... And just keep going and keep going and keep going. There's no end to it. Theoretically, you could just keep going forever. That's it. There's only so much that you have inside. There's much more that is available to see, to experience, to hear outside. So, it is important to balance those two ideas, inside and outside. But I would say, for me personally, right now, what I prioritize more is to get outside. Far more than I spend time inside. I'm not interested in spending time inside anymore. It's not interesting to me anymore. I've had enough. So, I'm doing everything I can, as often as I can, to break up the habit, change the pattern, switch up the behaviour, get up, get out and go. Far more often. Break up the day with far more stints of physical exercise repeated. That is the new pattern. That is the new idea. That is the new behaviour. That is the one that I have to choose in order to progress. Exercise. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Exercise. Movement. Far more. Much more. Much better. There's only good thoughts out here. There's only good ideas. I have to positively motivate myself. And that means trying to make a concerted effort. Not only to think positive, but speak positive too. Self-motivate. For me, for anyone, for everyone. It's a must. It has to be done. There's no other way around it. I want to actually do something good with my life. I want to actually feel alright. I want to actually consider myself to be a success in my own right. The way that I see myself, I would like to think that I am, in some way, successful, because that means that I'm living true to how I feel, living true to my ideals, and living true to what I think is right. And if I'm doing that, when I'm doing that, that only comes around because I have actually actively engaged myself in the positive self-motivation. Meaning, thinking positively, speaking positively, telling myself the kind of things that are going to benefit me. They're actually going to promote a forward movement in terms of the direction that I'm taking in life. So, I only record this for myself, for me. But I also share it with anybody else who wants to watch, anybody else who wants to listen. It's publicly available. You can sit and watch, you can sit and listen, you can look all you like, you can listen all you like. To me, I'm okay with it. It's quite funny when people assume that you would be afraid of being seen. Like, there's people who look at me when I'm videoing or whatever. They think that when they see me, I'm gonna be like scared or something that they've seen me. Like, okay, yeah, you keep dreaming. But it's always the same with people who are not very intelligent. People who are not actually employing their intelligence very much is, and it's also combined with just pure narcissism, is they can only project the ideas they have about themselves onto other people. So because they are so scared, they assume the fear in the other, and then when they don't see it, they're like confused, like, oh my god, why isn't this person scared of me? Why would I be scared of you? What reason do I have to be scared of you? I'm just filming a vlog. It's a perfectly normal thing to do. Lots of people are filming vlogs, and obviously lots more people now are like doing TikTok live and whatever. But it's not exactly unusual to be recording. It's a kind of a work. Lots of people do it, including me. And although, like I said, it is publicly available for anybody to see, I'm not really doing it for anybody else in particular. They're welcome to watch if they like, but I'm doing it for me. This vlog, my YouTube videos are just a place for me to empty out my thoughts, empty out my feelings, and share them with whoever wants to watch, whoever wants to listen. So I have no issue with it at all, and I'm not going around sort of bothering anybody. It's just me talking to myself, talking to my camera. So I really do believe fundamentally in, you know, civil rights, human rights, and personal freedom and personal choice. If you would like to do something and you think it's a good idea personally, if that is in no way affecting any other person at all, then you should be allowed to carry on doing that. And it only becomes an issue if what you're doing is in any way negatively impacting another person. Then there's a conversation that could occur. But without that, there's no real reason for any conversation of any kind, apart from just to say, good for you, carry on, keep it up. Why not? It's better to positively self-motivate, but also positively motivate others and actually reward or praise what is considered to be good behaviour. Doing something productive, working on something that is good in some way, either for them or for anyone. If it helps an individual or if it helps a group, then that's something that should be praised. That's something that should be complimented. That's something that people should say, well done, you're doing a great job, carry on, keep it up. We need more positivity in the world. People right now, they're not very nice because they're scared, they have no confidence, and then they become not very nice people, And you're much better off to really just focus on yourself. Stop projecting your negativity at other people. They don't like it. Just makes you look like a prick. You seem like not a very nice person because you just keep projecting your negativity onto other people. So just stop. Shut up. Stop talking. No one wants to hear what you have to say. You're an idiot. Be quiet. Stop talking. Shut up. Do everybody a favour and please try to remain positive. It's good for you, it's good for everyone. Because really, there's a lot of people who are now just making themselves look stupid. If you're making yourself look stupid, just think to yourself, I look like an idiot right now. It's not good. You're embarrassing yourself and you need to stop. There is actual merit in positivity, in thinking positive, and also thinking, okay, no matter what situation is occurring in your life, you can do something about it, but you're not going to change that for the better with your negativity. You're going to change that for the better with your positivity. You have to actually look at what's happening and think, what can I do to actually improve this situation? How can I actually make it better? Otherwise, you're just dwelling and you're focusing on the things you don't like. That's a waste of time. You could be spending your time focusing on good things, focusing on positive things, focusing on things that are actually going to improve situations. Then you'll actually be a nice person to be around. People will actually like you. They don't like you if all you do is moan and complain and you're miserable. They just want you to shut up. You're annoying. They'd like you much more if you're a positive person, if you're inspiring, and if you actually made an effort to motivate not only yourself, but motivate others to do good things, to be positive. But because people just criticize now, they're so scared that all they can do is condemn, call other people names, and again, it's just making you look like a horrible, horrible person. You're making yourself look bad. So if you don't want to look like an idiot in a public place, just shut up, stop talking. All you're doing is making yourself look more and more stupid every single word that you say. So you're better off just staying quiet. Don't say anything. That's your best bet. Anyway, I'm just heading to the Morrisons right now. It's probably like 5-10 minutes away. I think I've got like £1 in my account. What I always buy when I'm running out of money is what I always call Lucky Lemonade. It's basically one of the cheapest things that you can buy in Morrisons. And because it's so cheap, I only ever buy it when I'm completely skint. And it basically just reminds me, like, don't worry, even if you got no money, you can still be lucky. Your luck can still turn around and improve. It is absolutely 100% possible. No matter what kind of situation you're in, it can turn around and improve and become much better. So to me, that's what the Lucky Lemonade represents. It's the last little bit of appreciation every month to think, okay, well, I've nearly run out of everything, but you know what? I'm still feeling lucky. That's all that matters. Lots of people have got lots of money, but they're still not feeling very good. There's lots of people that have got very little money, but they feel great. They're happy. It's not the money that makes you happy, but it does help. It gives you the possibility of doing what it is you want to do. Increases your ability to go where you want to go. and obviously opens doors, brings about opportunities, makes it so you've got a way to spend your time doing things, staying busy. I'm not going to say like I don't like it. Of course I do. Everyone does. This is it, the Lucky Lemonade. So, I believe that I now have about 3 days until I get paid again. So, it's going to be a frugal few days. Not really spending anything on anything. That's okay. It's got to be done every now and then. I always get, in the times of frugality, a Lucky Lemonade. So far it's been very lucky. However, I feel like the price has gone up. Maybe. I'm not sure. It was 39p. I swear it used to be cheaper than that. I thought I got a different one. I went back and I had a look. I was like, was that the right one? And then I was thinking, no, that's not right. That's not right. Kept looking. And I thought, no, that's the only one. So, must have been the right one. I guess it is. What I'll have to do is check back, I don't know, 40 videos ago, 80 videos ago, and see what happened then. Because I did already talk about this in a vlog. I don't know. I don't know if it was a month ago or 2 months ago, but there was a point when I talked about it, when I showed it, so I could see, if I go back and have a look, was it the same one? I'm not sure. I think it probably was. Anyway, back to walking, back to working, heading back to the house once again. Gonna go drop off this bottle, put that down, then I don't know, I think come back outside again. I don't know, but I've got 10-15 minutes to think about that. It's pretty hot again out here today. More blue skies. Yesterday it's more rainy, but that didn't stop me. Still went out, still went about, still got on with it. That's what I like to do. Whatever the weather, press on regardless. Keep going, keep working. Keep working. No excuses. I say excuses. No reasons to stop or slow down or change behaviour. I just love to keep going continuously, non-stop. Carry on. That's the way to do it. That's the way I like to do it. I get a buzz out of that, and it's definitely the most rewarding. Like, you have to put in a seriously good amount of time into working as hard as you possibly can, continuously. Even when you think, oh, I want to give up, no, don't give up, keep going. That's what you got to do. That's the only way that you're going to get the reward of what you can actually get out of putting the time and the effort and the energy into something that you believe is worthwhile to work away at. And you really do have to chip away at it, little by little. But I would say little and often, as often as you possibly can. If it's something you really want to do, then it doesn't even feel like a struggle or a strife or a painful, unhappy, miserable thing to do. It's a joy. It's something you like. It's something you appreciate. It's something you look forward to. You want to work because you really enjoy working. You can see how much progress you're making by doing it, and that gives you a sense of fulfillment. That's what keeps you going through everything, is to think, oh, I've been here before so many times, so many more times than I can even remember. And what did I do? I kept going, I carried on, everything worked out great. Once you know that, once you've internalized that, once you realize that, once you remember that, then those words, they pop back up into your little mind space time and time and time again and remind you, oh, I felt like this before. And then you think, I can handle it. And the only way that you sort of prove to yourself that you can handle it is because it's happened so many times, and every time that you carried on, you kept going, you pushed through, you progressed, regardless of all the situations. Every single time you did that, you came out of what appeared to be the other side of all of that, and you felt much better. You got a sense of relief, and you also feel stronger, fitter, more capable. So that's the entire point, really. The more that you push yourself to progress, the more that you dedicate and devote time, energy, effort, and are willing to expend all of that for the sake of a pursuit towards a goal that you have set for yourself and you're working towards, the more reward that comes to you in terms of personal development, self-development. So, the signs that you have achieved greater levels of personal development, of self-development, are you feel better about yourself, you have a better opinion of yourself, you have a greater capability to get what you want in life, because you've developed yourself to the point where you understand how things work to a much larger degree. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time repeating the same information until you reach a point where it clicks, and then you understand, and then it becomes something very much internalized, and then you can start to play with that piece of knowledge that you have, experiment with its use, and then see how that actually affects the world around you, or to see how that actually affects you yourself, the relationship you have with yourself. Every new piece of information that you gain in your understanding changes you as a person and gives you much more knowledge and much more ability to actually apply towards getting what it is you want, whatever that is. And it takes doing the physical work associated with the knowledge, but you have to have the knowledge of the specific area of interest in order to engage with the physical labour. But once you have the knowledge and you can engage with the physical labour, that's when you can actually work towards achieving what it is that you want, whatever it is that you set as your goal. And you have to have a goal every single day. You have to have a goal. You've got to have something that you're trying to do. You might not succeed But you got to have something that you want to do and that you can try to make an effort to do, to work away at. And then just chip away at whatever it is your goal is. Before you know it, you've done it. There you go. You got what you wanted. But you really have to keep chipping, often a lot longer than you would think. And you got to not allow anyone else's opinion to stop you from chipping away at your goal, at your desire, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Of course, you deserve to have a goal. You deserve to picture or envision a life that you feel is worth living. And despite what anybody else tells you, it's okay to try to succeed, to try to be successful, to try to improve or better your life for yourself. That is absolutely 100% an okay thing to do. Perfectly acceptable, perfectly understandable. In fact, I would say it has to be done. Whether you want to or not, whether you resist making the change for yourself, you have to. Because otherwise, what are you going to do all day? Okay, so I'm going to drop off the Lucky Lemonade. I'm going to get rid of this hat. Get rid of this hoodie. And then head back out into the sun for more fun. Sun. Working. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Vlogging. YouTubing. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Fun. Sun. Fun. YouTube. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Working, walking, talking. Talking, walking, working. Working, walking, talking. Fun. Sun. Working. Talking. Fun. Sun. Working, talking. Working, walking, working. Walking. Talking. Fun. Sun. Walking. Talking. Working. Fun. Sun. Making YouTube videos in the sun, lots of fun. Walking, talking. Talking, working. Walking, talking. Working, walking. Walking, turking. Walking, talking and working. That's turking. Walking, turking. Talking, working. Talking, working, walking. When am I going to stop? I don't know. Okay, maybe I should just go outside now, like I said I would. Now I'm singing everything instead of talking. Where's my camera thing gone? That was fun. Yeah, I am actually going to go out again. It was great. It was a great walk. I want to do it again. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. But I'm going to go. And I'm going to do. Even though I don't know what to do. Where to go. Still going to do it. You know why? Because I can. Shall I sing that song again? Maybe not. Maybe it's not appropriate for the streets. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know what's right anymore. I don't know what's appropriate. Anyway, I'm still going to carry on doing what I'm doing because I can. That's why. And I've got to say, once I actually escape from a particular sort of radius, distance from the house, it becomes so much easier for me to actually realise and remember why it is that I wanted to come out anyway. Because there's just this energy or this feeling or these thoughts associated with where it is, where I am, that stops me and tries to convince me not to go out, not to do anything. I'm not having it anymore. I'm not letting all those thoughts win. They're not going to have any control over me anymore. So, kind of relates to what I was saying earlier, is if you feel like there's a certain amount of ideas or people around you that are trying to stop you from going where you want to go, doing what you want to do, you have to really start to question, why am I listening to this? Why am I listening to what people are saying? I should just do what I want to do anyway, not let them stop me. So I'm not letting anyone stop me now. I'm just gonna do it because that's what I want to do. And I don't really care what anyone thinks about that, to be honest. I'd much rather focus on what I think and develop more of a sense of my own personal sovereignty. I guess in a way that could look like entitlement, but entitlement is only really knowing or realising what your rights are. And if you're following the law and you're doing what you consider to be moral, or what is agreed upon as being moral, then I really do think it's okay to do what it is that you want to do. If what you're doing is completely harmless, that's okay. And if what you're doing is actually really good, really great, benefits people, including yourself, if it benefits you, if it benefits other people, if it benefits anyone at all, then that would be widely agreed upon as doing something very positive, something very good, something very kind and courteous. That's part of being a nice person, a kind person, helping other people, but also helping yourself. I mean, you can be kind to other people as much as you can, and obviously I think you should do that, but you also have to be kind to yourself and realise if other people are not being kind to you, you need to be kind to you. And really, a lot of the time, get away from all those people that are acting like that, that are trying to stop you from doing what you want to do. If what you're doing is not harming anybody and is beneficial for you and for other people, and you are sure of that, and you believe that, and you can justify that, then absolutely 100% you should carry on doing that without question, and not allow other people to tell you whether you can or not. It's not up to them. It's up to me what I do. It's not up to them. That seems like the most obvious thing to possibly say ever, and I feel like everybody in some way believes that for themselves. But if you believe that for yourselves, you also do have to believe that for other people. If other people are doing something that they believe is good, that in some way benefits them or benefits others or both, and it causes no harm to anybody, then absolutely 100% you should not really have an opinion on whether that person should do that or not. Apart from to say, yeah, fair enough, absolutely, 100%, you have the right to do that, go ahead, carry on. That should be all it takes, really. And to just live and let live. Let other people do what it is that they want to do. Without trying to stop them, without trying to have an opinion. Just let it happen. It's not such a big deal. If somebody is objectively a good person, a kind person, in any way, entertaining, doing things to make other people smile or feel better or to help them physically, mentally or emotionally, then it has to be allowed for that person to do that, because there would be no hope in the world without good people doing good things, making the world a better place. Now, you may think that what is considered to be making the world a better place is not objective in any sense. It's not fundamental. It's obviously down to personal interpretation, and to some degree you'd be correct. However, there are many, many, many different groups of people who collect based on their personal beliefs and the groupthink of the shared identity that they all agree with. Now, there are many different groups of different kinds of people who think different kinds of things. So, there will be many, 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 many people who support a certain kind of behaviour and think, yes, that's very good. For instance, people who are interested in fitness and exercise, they all say, great, yeah, crack on, good job, keep going. They want to motivate other people in the same way they motivate themselves. Then you have a different group of people who are not like that. They have different sets of ideas, they think differently. And it's like that with everything. There's always going to be a different kind of person that wants to do a different kind of thing. So, you have to remember, whatever it is that you're doing, put it into perspective. Don't get stuck in the group think only of what those who seem to be around you the most keep saying. A lot of the time, those people are only attracted to you because in some way it benefits them to be associated to you. You've got to look towards all different kinds of people in order to consider all different kinds of opinions, in order to start to form your idea of what is correct, what is right for you personally. Not for anybody else, just for you. You get to decide what is right for you. You don't necessarily get to decide what is right for anybody else at all. You may do if they want you to. If someone seeks out your counsel, if someone seeks out your guidance, of course, share your opinion with them and be confident in doing so. But it's not for you to actually decide what it is they are actually going to do. You can have your say, you can say what you think. They can decide whether they like that or not, and whether they're going to do that or they won't. It always has to be the sovereign right of the individual that is being preserved for the individual, by the individual, for all the other individuals. And primarily, society is made up of individual people. It's not actually made up of groups. The way that people think that there are specific groups or kinds of people who have kinds of opinions in the world, it's just simply incorrect. The way that you associate with a group changes constantly over time. There's a point in your life where at one point you think that you associate with a certain kind of people, And then 5 years passes, 10 years passes, you feel completely differently. You've changed your mind. You've become a different person completely. Now you don't think the way you used to. Now you're a new person. You're not like the person you used to be. That happens all the time. So you're primarily an individual, and secondarily you have your group identity. That is something you associate as part of your understanding of how you connect with others in the world. But that is never going to be something that is sustained or something that lasts. You're going to come back to yourself time and time and time again, only to find that it is just you out here in life alone. It's you and yourself. So that should be the fundamentally number one relationship that you prioritize in your entire life. Is the first one and the only one you will always have. It's you and yourself. How do you feel about yourself? All of your family are going to come and go. All of your friends are going to come and go. All of your work colleagues are going to appear and disappear. Everybody you know, whether you like them or not, they appear and they disappear. You are the one person that will never go away. For your entire life, you will always be there. So, for as long as you can see yourself, you have to develop a fundamentally positive relationship to yourself and with yourself. There is no question of that. Every group that you go into, you will come out of. Every person that you associate with, you will move closer to, you will move away from. Eventually, you will come back to feeling that it is just you, alone, by yourself, again. Now, if you recognise that and you understand you're an independent person, totally separate from anyone and everyone else that exists within the world, now you've understood what your number one priority should be in life. That is you. You and you alone are the number one priority to you. That's it. End of conversation. Now, that's not to say that nothing else matters. That's not to say that no one else is important, or should or could be important to you. Of course, there are going to be many other people who you feel are important to you throughout your life, and there will continue to be more and more of them. But there will also be times, many times, when you are left alone, you are separated from the group, and you feel as though you're looking for something more. Now, what is that something more that you're looking for? If that's how you feel, stuck, trapped, left alone, abandoned, you've got to start to consider and think, what is it I need to do right now that is going to improve my personal situation? And it's got to be about you personally, just you as number one priority. Then take the time, as much time as you need, to understand who you are and to start to develop your sense of self as an individual, independently, separately from all the other people that you know. That has to be done. At some point, you have to start to develop a personal sense of self, identity, distinctly separate from the group. Now, there are lots of people who will never separate themselves from the group, ever. They are completely 100% attached to their group. Whatever that group is that they associate with, they want to be around them all the time, they want to stay with them all the time. I totally understand that. I can be like that sometimes. I think everybody can be like that sometimes. But, unfortunately, the bad news is, whether you like it or not, you will eventually have to walk away and be left alone again to refigure yourself out. And if you're smart and you're clever and you understand what is going on, you'll take away all that experience that you have with all those other people, and you'll use all of that as fuel to actually motivate you, to drive you to do what it is that you want to do, or to become what it is that you want to become. If there's something that you like about these people so much that you want to spend so much time with them, and of course you've got to think, well, whatever it is you like so much in them, that could actually be available to you, in you, as you. So walk away from those people and find whatever it was that you liked about them in yourself. That's the best thing you can do. Then you're going to be relieved from all these constant thoughts of, I need to go and see them, I need to go and see them, I need to spend time with them. When you become desperate for company, you become desperate to be around other people, you can either give in to your desperation and say, okay, I'm going to do whatever I can to prioritize these other people, place them above myself, and allow myself to in some way worship them as being more important than me. Now, you might think worship is a strong word. However, if you look at any other individual as being in some way greater than you, and you seek them out to find something that you do not believe you have within yourself already, that is in a way worshipping them, in the sense that you see them in a light that is not the same way that you see yourself. When you ultimately find what it is that you're looking for inside yourself, you begin to see and realize what it was you loved about that other person was simply just what was missing from you. When you've developed that within yourself, you no longer look for the other person in order to give you what it is that you want to find, what it is that you so desperately seek. So, if you're desperately seeking something in another person, then you will basically try again to be around that person, to get close to that person. But if it's not working out for you and you're not getting it, and they aren't interested, or they show you a clear sign that you're not what they're looking for, then you have to either start to look to yourself, or what a lot of people do is they start looking for somebody else. So this happens all the time in romantic relationships. Like, someone gets infatuated with somebody else, then they spend so much time obsessing over that person, they just want to be around that person. That person isn't interested in them in the same way, doesn't give them what they want. So they go out and they look for another relationship to try and replace the one that they were seeking. Now, how many relationships would it take to repeat that kind of behavior over and over and over again until finally you have the sense to think, you know what, maybe what it is that I'm looking for in that person is actually something that I'm looking for to find within myself. Once you find it within yourself, you stop looking towards the other person when you realise, that's me. And that's when you're free from needing another person to actually fulfill you in any way. That's when you're free to once again become an independent, sovereign individual and start to focus on you as being a priority, you as being number one in your life. And that's obviously something you're going to come back to time and time and time again throughout your life. It just so happens to go around like that in circles as a pattern that just repeats every day, at least at some point. If not every day, then definitely periodically. There's times when you're with other people, there's times when you're by yourself, but for all the times that you're with other people, you have to realise and understand and remember, very, very soon, it's just going to be you by yourself. Now, you're going to have to think about you. Stop prioritising other people. Start putting yourself first again. That's what you're going to have to do at some point, whether you like it or not. You might not like it, but you have to do it. That's just the way it is. That is life. You cannot cling so desperately onto anybody else to try and have them give you what you want. At some point you have to look at yourself and think, well, maybe it is me. Maybe I do have to be the one who does it. And when you realise that you're the one who has to do it, that's when you start to take self-responsibility, self-accountability, and you start to act on your actual self-interested motivations without actually considering that somebody else might have an opinion about that you don't like the sound of. Well, that's okay. That's what's going to happen all the time. Everything that you want to do, there's going to be someone who says, oh, I'm not so sure about that. And fair play to them. They're acting within their self-motivated interest. So obviously, because everybody places themselves at number one, that means, well, you get into these conversations or positions where you're going, well, I'm number one, and they're going, well, no, I'm number one. Okay. Here's what fixes that. If I think I'm number one, you think you're number one. What that means is we can both actually understand each other. I know how you feel because I feel the same way. So therefore, we can actually empathise and understand each other with compassion. Now, what changes this is if I understand and realise that I place myself as number one, but I still take into consideration everybody else as being just like me, just as important as I am to myself. If I do that, then I listen to and I consider what other people think. Now, if I see myself and place myself as being at number one in my life, to me, but I think of myself as being number one above and beyond all others, that means that I'm not going to have sympathy, I'm not going to have understanding for other people thinking that they're the most important thing to them. See, it can be confused with a kind of arrogance, but the arrogance only exists when you separate your idea of prioritising yourself from the idea of still caring about other people and prioritising them in a very similar way to the way you prioritise yourself. Now, you'd think in order to prioritise yourself, you have to separate yourself from others in order to place yourself as the most important priority in your life. If you're going to place yourself at number one, that means to separate yourself from all the other people who are thinking only of themselves. Well, yes, you might have to do that, or you might feel that you have to do that, but you don't have to do that. What I mean by that is, it's not that simply by prioritising yourself you feel necessarily that you want to separate yourself from other people or not associate with them at all. Well, if you're prioritising yourself, you you might actually really want to engage with other people, to spend time with other people. That might be something you want. So if you're prioritizing yourself, you would allow yourself to do that instead of separating yourself from other people and becoming independent, placing yourself as a priority and just walking away from everybody and thinking, oh, I don't care about them, they're gone now, it's just me by myself again. No, you might want desperately to still spend time with other people, and if you're prioritizing yourself, of course that means allowing yourself to go and spend time with other people if that's what you want to do, obviously. So it's not like placing yourself as number one means to separate yourself from everybody and everything, and to not think about what they think, not think about how they feel, to not care at all. No, it's not like that at all. You can care about yourself and still care about other people. They don't have to be exclusive or inseparable as concepts to think that if you only care about yourself, or if you prioritize yourself, it means you're not interested in what other people think or how they feel. You might be interested in what other people think or how other people feel because you care about yourself, and yourself is the one who is interested and who cares. Right? That makes sense to me. I've explained it quite well to myself, if anyone. Anyway, food for thought, something to think about, something to consider, not just to take as the word of gospel or anything like that. Just think about it, consider it as an idea. Every idea that anyone presents really should be considered, at least to some degree. Not just discarded or thought of as being useless. But really, that's not a process you have to actually engage in at all. Because you don't really decide whether you actually want to consider another person's idea. It's something that happens basically completely automatically, as if by magic. You can walk away after hearing what somebody's had to say, and you can actively think, that was interesting, I want to think about that. Or you can walk away and think, you know what, I have no interest in what that person said at all. But with enough time, eventually, whatever has been said to you will start to, in some way, sink in to your soul, to your being. It may take many, many, many repetitions of specific kinds of information or specific types of information, whether that's similar or different to what it is you heard, in order to open up the kind of rabbit hole thinking that leads you to the place where you can have the experience of understanding what it is that has been said. That kind of enlightenment can only occur after sometimes incredibly long periods of constant work and a continued effort to improve your sense of self or your well-being in some way. Now, when eventually the penny does drop and what has been said starts to make sense to you, that is when your having discarded that information becomes completely irrelevant in every single way. It is 100% absolutely irrelevant as to whether you willingly decided that you have no interest in listening to what has been said, because your mind catches up with you at a time when you're not even ready to realise what is happening. It will come to you in a moment after having gone through enough periods of surrender to basically, eventually, have to start to consider what it was that has been said, even if you originally didn't like it. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that a concept that you are initially introduced to can often first be met with a great deal of skepticism and doubt towards what has been said. But that doesn't mean there is no value in what has been said to you. There may still be great amounts of value that you are personally just incapable of realizing or considering at that present moment in time, but with enough time and you still could eventually reach a place where what was said to you begins to make perfect sense as you start to process pieces of information in a new way. And the piece of information that you received many months ago, or many years ago, that you did not know how to process, you may now have been through enough experience in life to have reached the final place of being able to digest that piece of information in a way that makes it make perfect sense. So now you look back and you think, okay, I realise when that person said something, I actually missed the point of what it was they were trying to say. And I had to go through a whole load of thinking through different ideas until eventually it made sense. So if that happens, that means that basically, eventually, when you hear something, you won't doubt it, you'll just accept it, knowing that it's got to, at some point, be a crucial piece of information that you're going to integrate into your experience and actually be able to use in some way that is useful towards you. And there's nothing really that can be said that is not in some way useful to you. It all depends upon how do you actually personally interpret a piece of information as to its use or therefore lack of use. If it has a use, then, and that use is apparent, then the use is apparent whether that appears at a time that makes sense to you or not. The utility of the words that you've received is not something that you can question when all of the relative pieces of information have been integrated in order to make that make perfect sense to your rational understanding. And when the rational understanding dawns on you and the pieces of the puzzle come together, then everything makes a lot more sense than it previously did. And you may well realise that that person who said that to you is not the one who you think they are, but could well be the exact person that is actually trying to help you more than you do. You may be the kind of person that's not even interested in helping yourself. And if another person can recognise that and see that you're not interested in helping yourself, they might try to set an example to you by showing you they are the kind of person that is interested in helping you. It may just be with a word, it may be with many words, it may be with no words at all, but actions. It may be a combination of all of those. It may be some of those, it may be none of those. It could be anything, it could be everything. But here's the thing, if they're trying to help you genuinely, and they're coming from a place of actual, personal, true and real care for you, physically, mentally, emotionally or spiritually, if that is a realization that has occurred in them, but you have not actually managed to reach a place where you can see it like that, then it is just a question of time. With enough time, the realization will dawn on you and it will make perfect sense. Then you will no longer have any questions whatsoever. You'll be able to think, okay, I think I know what's going on now. I think I get it. I think I understand. If you understand, that's when all the noises of the mind, all the thoughts, all those feelings of insecurity disappear, vanish. You know why? Because you now find security, peace of mind, and strength in having understood what it is that's actually happening. Okay, very long speech. Finished. Very good, I had a lot to say. Managed to continuously follow the thread of what was being said. Got a couple of funny looks from a few odd people. That's okay, I don't mind. But now I'm actually just gonna head back towards the house, kind of. Maybe take a little detour, I don't know. It was a good walk. It's quite long. There's still a lot more to be done if I choose to. I'm sure I can still do much more in terms of walking, in terms of walking. But I don't know whether I should sort of go back to the base and start to come up with a plan, or stay out and sort of make it up on the fly. I could stay out really. It would be probably about 10 to 15 minutes away from home. So that's sort of like 10 to 15 minutes worth of thinking as to what is it I'm actually going to do. It doesn't really matter that much what I actually choose, because I do feel like all roads lead to Rome kind of thing. But really all I'm doing is staying out for the sake of walking and talking, working, making YouTube videos, talking to the vlog, and that's about it really. All right. There's so many cars on the road. I really don't like it, to be honest. I think it would be a lot better if there was no cars. I feel like a lot of people that drive cars are quite stupid people, boxed off in their little bubble, separate from other people. There's a way that makes people, there's a feel about it of it making people feel quite separate, or almost putting too much power in their hands as individuals to actually be given the control over a vehicle. I feel like a lot of people that are actually on the road shouldn't really be given the authority to have any control over a vehicle whatsoever. They're not really responsible enough or morally virtuous enough to actually deserve one. I really think that's true, to be honest, thinking about it. So I'm heading back now to the house. It's probably about 5 minutes, and then I don't know if I've already finished off what I was drinking, but I could do with something to drink, even if it's just water. Oh fucking hell, I got the Lucky Lemonade. Oh yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll drink some of that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Stay on the good vibes. Had a good walk, had a good talk. Now I've got to go do some work. Well, I've done some work already, but it's always more work to be done. More working, more walking, more talking. Talking, working, walking. Walking, working, talking. So I'll probably just take about half an hour, have a bit of a drink, refresh myself. Then what I might actually do is I might try again to do a little bit of like meditation / yoga type things. I don't know exactly how to do that. I don't know exactly what to do. But I kind of did some a couple of weeks ago. And it was really good. I don't really know what I did. I just sort of like stretched out. And then, I don't know, got into like different positions on the floor. And I was thinking, oh, this is like yoga, basically. I have done yoga before. I've done it a long time ago. I guess like over 10 years ago now, when I first went to university. First job I ever had was in what was called the Healing Centre, and quite aptly titled for the place that it was in, which was Ealing, West London, Ealing. So obviously Ealing, healing. So yeah, it was the Healing Centre in Ealing, and it was a very interesting place to work. I started off by passing by there, and I remember just getting sort of attracted to the vibes of it and being like, wow, this place looks cool. I'd like to go in there. So I think I just kind of walked in. They had a little shop, and I think I started looking at what they had for sale, and just very quickly became interested in what was going on there, because I was like, wow, this place is cool. I've never really seen anything like this before. It just had a good vibe and just kind of sucked me in. So I went in, had a look, started exploring what they had for sale. Sorry, what did you say? Huh? You said something?
Me?
Oh.
What?
Some woman just said, weirdo alert. Don't know what she's talking about. She's a weirdo. Anyway, so where was I in my story? I walked in, I had a look, and it just seemed like a really cool place. Like a nice place to be. Like I was saying, just had like a good vibe. And I started asking a few questions. I was like, what do you guys do here? And she said like, oh, it's a healing centre. We do healing, and we do, what do you call it? Yoga. We do yoga lessons. So I was like, cool, okay. Maybe I should come join for a yoga lesson sometime. So they said, yeah, okay, come join. And that was how I started off doing it. And then eventually, after I did a few classes there, I think it was the lady who ran the shop. She mentioned, oh, we need a new shop assistant. So I was like, okay, I need a job. Can I do it? And she was like, yeah, okay. And that was it. Then I had my first job, which I was very excited about because I'd never had a job before. This was when I was like 18, 19. No, I must have been 18. Yeah, 18. And then I started working there as a shop assistant. Didn't spend much time there really. Probably about a year. I don't know, maybe it was longer than that. I can't really remember. But it was a great time anyway. And all the time that I spent there, I was just surrounded by all these people who did yoga, you know, on a daily basis. I went to yoga classes or whatever, you know. So it's kind of like if you spend enough time in the library, you end up reading a book. It's kind of like that. I spent a couple of years there And so I ended up getting interested in what's all this yoga stuff? How do you do it? And you know what? I've got to say, I never really understood how to do it. I never really understood what I was doing at all. Spent a lot of time there. Ended up getting into a lot of interesting positions. And then just saying, oh, okay, that must be what yoga is. I think I just did some yoga. But I couldn't really intellectualize it any more than that. I couldn't tell you which position is which or how to do whatever it is that you want to do. And I do honestly think if you want to learn it, either go buy a book, read that and figure it out, or go see a teacher and get them to teach you how to do it. I think that's probably the best way to do it. That's the way I did it. Was just sit there, face each other, and then they say, okay, here's what you do, and they just explain it step by step. That makes it really easy. The easier the better for me, because I'm not always incredibly good at sort of retaining information. Sometimes I'll be okay with it, sometimes I won't. But really, the best way to learn anything is going to be practical application. Meaning, have a go at it, practice, and then eventually you just end up saying, yeah, I know how to do yoga. Whether you do or you don't, who's to say? But anyone can claim that, can't they? If you can sit there with your legs crossed, you know how to do yoga. Alright, that is going to be the end of the video for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.